Yvette Lloyd, host of Life Her podcast. We have an amazing guest on here tonight, and I am so excited to talk to her because we can't get enough of Black owned network stations and her mission and the things that she's trying to accomplish. I ain't even gonna say trying because she is accomplishing it and she is doing an amazing job. And I want you guys to hear all that what she has going on so you can connect with her and help her build it up because we need more media like what she represents. So, hey, Tiffany, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing good, real good. I'm happy to have you tonight.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes. So we just about to get right to it. So before you actually started a networking station, what were you doing and what led you to even come up with this amazing vision?
Okay. Well, I have always been in, let's say, the entertainment business, right? I started off actually as an artist. I was a rapper. Um, I went to school initially for media production, however, because I wanted to learn the behind the scenes of what I do.
Right.
I didn't really think at that time that I would use a lot of it, but I was more like, hey, if I'm an artist and I know I'm gonna need music videos and studio time, I want to know what they doing so they can't charge me $5,000 for something that's $500.
Okay.
So I went to school to learn all of that. I took on the career as a rapper and did pretty well for myself from there. It was my transition to Atlanta that actually led me from St. Louis to Atlanta that led me more to behind the scenes and start working in production.
Okay, that is amazing. So what was that special night when you was just like, I'm about to go for my dreams. I'm about to just make this happen. I'm gonna just go. Cause sometimes when somebody have a vision, they play around with it a lot, and they really be scared to just take off. So what was that fed up moment when you was like, I'm about to just do it. Whatever happens, happen.
I was completely scared, so I can't say I didn't skip that like everybody else. And I started with trying to find a team before I started putting in the work, right? And
Uh-huh.
I'm reaching out to all these other videographers, like, hey, you want to shoot something with me? You want to record? You want to do this? I'm willing to learn. However, we, can work. And I got on somebody's post on social media actually, and they had just shot a short film. And I was like, hey, let me know, if you ever need some help or anything. And she actually said to me, why don't you just start? Why don't you just do it? Instead
Okay.
of looking for people, just do it and they will come. And I sat on there for a minute and I was like, man, you know what? You're probably right. So I really had to pick myself up and just say, just start shooting what you
Okay.
want. And the people I needed just started to come. They really did.
Wow. Wow, that is amazing. So, did you think that the people was gonna come and show up the way they was showed up for you?
I didn't. I didn't. And it was actually one of my struggles, right? I think if
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about building this network, what has been the biggest challenge is to get consistent people that
Yeah.
want to be there. And I think that might be true to a lot of startup businesses, right? When you think TV and film, everybody automatically think money, 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 money. Let me get
Yes.
paid, but you have to understand that this is a startup business like any other startup business, and we have to start to generate revenue and get a return on investment. And so then your pay will go up as we go up. So finding dedicated people that just had the passion, like I had the passion, and seeing the vision that I had was actually one of my harder struggles to start off with.
But you know what? That's normal though, because a lot of times we so hard on ourselves. We self sabotage ourselves and we just do so much, but we have all the encouragement to motivate somebody else
Hmm.
instead of ourselves so much. So that's quite normal. Now that you have started everything and you've been going, how do you feel now?
I don't even think the same way that I used to think, right? As far
Okay.
as I'm not going to have nobody to help. I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have this team. Organically has been coming to me. and definitely blessed. I believe in the Lord, and I have definitely been blessed. And I definitely have the ambition and the drive to just get up and do it now. When you have the vision, and I know it sounds so cliche, right? The
No, you good. You good.
anything you put your mind to type of thing. But I
Uh-huh.
promise you, the older I get, I'm like, that's true.
Yeah.
Works like that, and you just have to take the first step. So I look at starting anything new as a new opportunity and a new avenue for me.
Yes. So speaking of team, that's like the biggest thing when entrepreneurs and people starting a business is building a team. Trust issues is trash. Like
Hmm.
we don't trust nobody because we done been burned so many times and you just don't know nothing. How did you be able to prepare yourself and put yourself in a position to be able to trust people? Because I see that you have an amazing team. You have a big team. That's
Hmm.
it's big to me because you barely sometimes see three people,
Yeah.
but you have a really thick team behind you.
Yeah, shout out to my team because without them, I wouldn't be able to do half of the things that I do. And it took a lot of prayer on my end and a lot of thought on my end because I started the same way. And I think just some people with certain upbringings and backgrounds sometimes struggle with that trust, as you stated.
Mhm.
Um, I got to know my team outside of us just working together. Because I do feel like when you're building something from the ground up, the people you work with need to be like family to you, and you need
Yes.
to understand what their goals and passions are, because it's not just about me, right? And what my vision is. Everybody wants to do something, everybody wants to be somewhere, and everybody has a purpose on why they're doing it, whether it's for your kids or you want to buy your mama a house or whatever it is. And I think when you tap into that and get to know your people and let them know that this is a partnership, because we're not only working to something for me and my vision, but we're working towards something for you and your vision.
Mhm.
You can build a lot more trust in that, to show them that it's an outcome in this for you as well.
Yes, that is so true. So, along the way of you starting a network, building something is costly. And a
Hmm.
lot of people don't understand that sometimes because they see the end result and how you have crafted everything to look so amazing. So they think you could probably pay them thousands of dollars to even just do something. How are you managing with that to be able to sustain and keep the network going?
So I made sure that I definitely had a good amount of money saved before I even jumped into the boat, right?
Right.
I encourage anybody before you jump into entrepreneurship to make sure that you have that backup, and make sure that you not only just have it for the company you're starting, but for your livelihood. You know,
Hmm.
you it all that stuff you learned in school with sitting down with pie charts and all of that, you're gonna need to use that. You're gonna need to use all those skills, because you're gonna need to budget yourself, and a budget is extremely important. You need to know what you have going out and what you got coming in. I've definitely been to the point where I lost it all. I will say Ace Network wasn't my first business endeavor, right? And I learned from some of my past mistakes of trying to run too fast. And I had to understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint, you
Mm.
know, and put my finances in order. One thing I always tell people is that you can't build a house with a messed up foundation, and your
You definitely
foundation
right.
is your income, your foundation is your household. So you have to make sure not only your finances are straight, but everything in your house is straight, because that trickles down, right? If you're having a bad
Do.
day at home, you're probably gonna have a bad day at work. All of that connects together. So you have to make sure your foundation is together first before you even jump off the porch for it.
Girl, you speaking gospel. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
And a lot of that foundation has to trickle down to you too.
Hmm.
Like you have to be good internally as well because we deal with a lot. You just never know, and a lot of times that "are you okay" moment or just a random hug or just
Yes.
or some long hours of sleeping, that's like a rejuvenation for us. So when you find yourself getting in a difficult space, what is the things that you do for Tiffany?
If I'm really stressed out, I have started going to the gym now. I actually love the gym. I do like it
Okay.
because it is a stress reliever. You know, once you get over that hump of being tired, it's a good stress
You ain't
reliever.
lying.
Um, but I'm a sit with myself and think type of person, right? I
Mm,
love to. I'll go to a lake. I'll go for a long ride. I'm an old school R&B listener,
mhm.
and I'll ride and I'll think, and think through every thought that's on my mind that's stressing me out, and just have some quiet time for me.
That's good. That's real good. So let's get into this network.
All right.
Let's get all the way into it. So, um, how like where did you start at as far as what you were offering to the network? Did you start off with movies, music, podcasts? Which area did you start off with first?
So I started off geared more towards music with my musical
Okay.
background. Um, Honestly, when you think about starting something, you have to play to where your leverage is. You
Yes.
know, so I had a musical background. I came from St. Louis, Missouri, down here when I was still rapping, and I started to do some music with Jive Records at the time. So I met a lot of A&Rs. I know a lot of artists. I've been in and out the music industry for a long time.
Okay.
So I was like, so that's my leverage at this moment. So I have to use what I know and who I know to kind of bring up the network. So we started catering to artists. One of our first shows on there was Industry Ready, where we took 6 artists on an artist development journey. And
Ooh,
at the end, they were offered to sit down with a record label to discuss a recording deal.
wow.
Um, it's a familiar field with me. And again, I had a lot of connections in the area. So I started with what I had and what I knew. And then we just start to build upon that.
Wow. That is amazing. So when you accomplished that, how did you feel though?
Oh, I felt good. I felt so
Yes.
good. I grew up watching like when you used to watch BET Access Granted,
Girl,
right? And they had
yes.
the behind the scenes, right? And so when we got to the final day and I was able to say, that's a wrap, it was like a piece of nostalgia for me to be able to yell that out and say, wow, you just finished your first production for your network. And it was such a
Mhm.
great feeling. Like on set every day was amazing. My team showed up ready to work every day, no questions asked. Like, what do you need me? What do you want? Um, and the cast was just so excited to be a part of it, right? You
Wow.
would think sometimes coming on to it, like I'm a new network, so I don't know how they're going to. They came on there like I had been an established network for so long and was just so happy to be a part of it, right? And
Mm.
that just kept the morale up on the set, and it turned out so awesome. It really did.
That is amazing. But it comes with the respect level too. So clearly your character speaks for itself, even like during your rap career and you dealing with people and everything. And then like God's plan.
Yes.
God's
And that's what I always follow. What's meant for me is for me, you know.
yeah. Yeah, because like you may start off in your rap career and you doing everything, but you learning so much in that. It's like God was preparing you for this. So it's
Mhm.
like even though you failed, you still got back up, but it may not been in that specific space. But
Mhm.
you still in that space, but you doing something else and you found yourself your love self. You know what I'm saying? For you to
Yes.
be able to do that. And sometimes we gotta respect it that way and gotta
Yes.
actually look at it that way instead of like being so hard on ourselves the way
Mhm.
we do. But you doing it, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to step back and kind of look at things sometime. I have a great
Yeah.
mentor by the name of County Brown. Shout out to County Brown. And that was when I was rapping.
Okay.
And I was trying to build like an entourage around that time, right? Because when you're a rapper, you gotta come in with your
Yeah.
posse, you gotta be deep.
Yeah.
And I was trying to connect with different coalitions and groups that were already established, like, let me be a part of your team, part of your team. And he honestly came to me, he says, it's not that people don't want you a part of their team. They just look at you and feel like you know enough to create your own team. Like you don't need us. It's more of
Mhm.
what it was. And at that point, I was like, I need y'all. You know, I didn't look at it as him telling me you're a boss in yourself. You know,
Right.
you can create this and build this in yourself. And now when I look at it hindsight, I do feel like all of this was for a reason. For me to rap for the amount of time that I did, experience what I did, all of this was a reason leading up to now.
It definitely was. So tell me, okay, so after you experienced that success, what was the next move?
After industry ready.
Yes. Uh,
So from
like
so from it,
after that, from you doing the music and everything, what's the next thing that you decided to do?
I was a little break in between there. So I did the
Okay.
music, um, and was recording. I did a little tour with Ray J when they had the Ray J Love show that was out. So
Mhm.
dating myself, but hey, you know, I did a little tour out there back then. And then when I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't really know which way to go, right? Because this was it was a bigger pond than what St. Louis was.
Okay.
I did my thing in St. Louis. I won Female Artist of the Year. My music's playing all over the radio. I'm performing throughout the Midwest. And I come down here and it's like, whoa, everybody down here rap. Everybody down here has rap cars. They have a little money to spend. I'm not going to be able to market and play the game the same way I did here. So I kind of fell back for a minute and I went to corporate America.
Oh,
Um, and I went into corporate America as a videographer.
oh wow.
So once I got into corporate America and I became the lead video producer for a prominent company. It was from there when I learned a lot from that company and what they do. To where I said, I think I want to change the narrative and step out on my own and kind of build more content that's uplifting our culture.
Okay. That
Um,
is
the
dope.
the company I was with dabbles in TV.
Mhm,
They do some TV.
mhm.
Just not name them, but they do TV. And some of the meetings I was in, and it just didn't lean into our favor, right? So instead of being the talker, I wanted to be the walker
Okay.
and make the change that I wanted to see.
I know that's right. So I know you have this thing where you want to see different and as far as black media, and I totally agree with you
Hmm.
because the way they show up for us, it ain't us. Like where's the positivity at? Where's the good
Hmm.
things that's going on?
Hmm.
So what can you define basically how you want to see the black media and how do you want to represent it on your network?
So my biggest thing is that I want to uplift and empower my culture, in our neighborhood, in our community. I do not dabble in what's called today ratchet reality, and I don't knock anybody that
Right,
does it.
right,
If
right.
that's your source of entertainment, that's your source of entertainment. But I feel like that's just becoming the this is how they act narrative, right?
Mhm.
And that's something that I stay away from. Now don't get me wrong, I have the everyday struggles that some people may have, but I'm not emphasizing the drug dealer as a positive. I am not pushing the hustler as a positive or the deadbeat parent as a positive. All of the content that I accept and receive has to have some type of positive spin on it, some type of positive outcome. What is the outcome from this? you
Mm.
know um I know that we will speak about it, but I have a show that is called Ambition, and it's showing us going through struggles to make it because everybody struggles, right? It's reality of the world. I can't take that out of the world. Um, but having the drive and ambition to go harder and want more. Bringing back things like Teen Summit type of content where we're
Yeah.
talking to our kids and informing our kids,
Yes.
but in a fun way, right? Everything ain't got to be PBS.
Yeah.
It don't have to be kind of drawn out, and it can still be
Mhm.
fun. It can still be hip, but it's informative. So that's my
Mhm.
goal with this network. I partner with a lot of colleges and schools to
That's
bring
good.
educational content in a fun way.
That's good.
Let's bring a way that we can educate and still have fun while we're doing it. So that's what I gear towards for the network.
That's good because I'm over it. I'm over it because it's just so much cuz sometimes you have to dig to really find something educational for yourself because
Mm-hmm.
everything always transitions to someone fighting, arguing or materialistic things and all that. It's like we need more of people talking about what's going on in the world, giving us facts and information about our culture and history on things that we dealt with and things that we accomplished and it's just so much that we could cover and it's also just finding more things for our youth to be able to watch and enjoy it at the same time because we had a different world, we had the
Yep.
Cosbys,
Cosby's. Yeah.
we had so many amazing shows like Moesha,
Yeah.
those were good healthy shows for us to watch and it wasn't like drama filled, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I really miss it and it's crazy because now we gotta recycle everything and watch it all because we really don't have any shows like that. And if we do get shows, they only last one season
Yep.
and then they end it. Is it a reason why do they do that?
Um. Yes, it is. It's always a reason. I'm gonna say that it's always a
Hmm.
reason. Just working with bigger corporations, I know a lot of it is a money thing, you know.
Okay.
But then you have to think too. A lot of television, people don't know, is really controlled by the government. A lot of television, a lot of movies that come out. The Pentagon has a whole production studio. Any type of war movie you didn't ever watch, the government created it. They put the funds into it. They direct the narrative. So when you get shows that are out of the hands that be, sometimes they try to steer you a different way because people say things like, "Oh, they're trying to push this on us," and for some things, yes, it's actually true. We
Hmm.
show things in repetition because we want that to be in your mind.
Right.
Um, your muscle memory only lasts for so long. So if there's something that we want you to remember, we're going to embed it into your head until you get it. How
Right.
many times have you heard a song one time and say, "I don't even like that song. It's weird,"
Right.
and then 2 weeks later you ride you do
Yep.
because you've heard it so much, you know. So yeah, I know it was some good shows out, and I can't really think of the name right now that did great numbers, but the message, they didn't like the message, and I think it was on like HBO, I want to say, and the show got pulled. As soon as I think of it, I'm gonna tell you the name of it. The show got pulled, and everybody was kind of like, "Well, why? Why is it being pulled?" Because of the message that's being
Yeah.
delivered. And if we don't own our own things, we have no right to say what message somebody else is going to put on their network. So
Right.
that if I have to say anything else throughout this podcast, please, business owners, entrepreneurs, stop selling your companies just for funds. We have to own something.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to keep it and we have to own it, or everything that we're trying to say and put out there will be erased. It will be
Yes.
erased. We have to own it.
That is so true because I was gonna like mention that to you. It seems like whenever we get in that position, and we get big, known, everyone's starting to love everything that we do. I noticed a lot of people will sell their business and they will still be the face of it, but
Mhm.
at the same time, they don't have everything authentic as they used to, and things start to change. What I mean, I know it's a money thing, but at the same time, like, is it something else to make people do that? Because I'm not behind the scenes. I know you done seen and heard plenty things.
Mhm.
And is it more to just money? Because like I know some people probably don't want to sell either, but it's
Hmm.
like something that they have to do.
Most of the times that I've ran into situations, it was money.
Okay.
Sometimes it is a territory thing, right? So television
Right.
shows and TV networks do have like a territory. When you think of a cable network, for instance, a Cox cannot be in the same market as a Comcast.
I
For
got you.
competition reasons, right? So when
Right.
you run into a lot of networks that come out with the same type of content, same agenda, same plan, it is a competition things, and then they become like a I can't even get the word out, but they come out, they kind of come together and join forces, and they get bought out.
Okay.
If you even look up like BET is a subsidiary of Paramount, which is connected to Viacom.
Yeah, I seen that.
You know what I'm
What
saying?
say?
So
Mhm.
eventually, the bigger company, which is Viacom, because Viacom has a lot of companies, um, takes over that area in that TV space, I guess you would say, and they just kind of control the network in that way. But I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, it was probably money. It was probably a money
So if you once you become bigger, because you are,
thing. Mhm.
would you find yourself doing that or would you keep going?
This moment, I'm going to say no. I wouldn't do that. And the only reason I say is at this moment is because I don't know how technology is going to change, right?
Right.
The reasons that it was happening in the past is because in order for people to watch TV, you have to be on a cable platform, right?
Right.
Or you have to get on somebody's platform for them to see it. As of now, with the internet, I don't have to be on anybody's platform. No cable company has to pick me up. I can completely have my Ace Network app sitting in Roku, sitting in Apple TV as its own individual entity, and it doesn't require the access of anybody else. The only thing that could change that is if Roku or Apple TV or somebody else comes up with a regulation and say, "Hey, to have your app on my platform, this is what you'll have to do."
Right.
So
Okay.
as long as we have that freedom right now for me to be the creative, they Roku doesn't decide what I air, how I show it. That's completely up to me and my app. As long as I have that freedom, I will not be I will not be selling my company. I'll struggle with it all the way to the top before I sell
Okay. I know that's right.
it.
So what is one of your short-term goals right now with your network channel?
Right now, this year is focused on reaching out to the people, right? It's a lot more to production than just the production, right? You start a business and you think you're going to play one role and you're going to play all 25 of those
Mm, mm.
roles in order to get your
Yeah,
company up and going, right?
that's
So I
true.
have a production staff to keep production going, to keep filming and things. But my goal is to reach out to the community more. Right now, my target is college age
Okay.
students. Just because I know you're coming out and you come out of college with so many great ideas and so many great thoughts, and they're eager to learn and eager to change. So we're really getting into the community and letting them know that, hey, we're here. And Ace Network is a bridge from school to Hollywood. Because that's
Mhm.
I focus on a lot of interns and I focus on a lot of college students because I know how hard it is,
Right.
to break into something like a media field. These type of positions on TV or in media, people get these positions and don't ever leave.
That's
They don't ever leave. You
true.
you could know the same news person that's been on there since you was a child until you
Yeah.
grown. It's the same person.
You ain't lying.
They never leave. So it's extremely hard to get in there, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I hope to bridge that gap, and I hope to bring a easier transition. We have started our internship to where we bring people in that just have a small interest or passion in it. I don't require you to have too many prerequisites, honestly, because sometimes it's not until later in life where you discover what you actually want. But we teach you how to use the movie cameras and cinema cameras. We teach you how to set up the lighting, and let you kind of rotate from positions and find your passion. What do I like to do? Do I like to be in front of the camera? Do I like to be behind the camera? Not only does this connect us with the community, it helps us with our staff, and you also get to learn and have hands-on experience that you can take anywhere and flourish. So
That is so dope. That's amazing. So, what if someone approach you and they say, "I would like to be a part of your network. Can my show be on your network?" What is the steps that they have to do to be able to do that?
So I do direct them to send me a trailer. I need to take a look at a trailer or a snippet of it. I do try to keep the quality of the content that we put up to a certain standard.
Right.
um, your first impression is everything. So I do take a look over the content and kind of see what the message and the goal is from there. And then I just simply have a team that follows up and we have a conversation on what are we looking at? Are we looking at a TV series? Are we looking at a one-time movie option? Are you looking to partner in this deal to where we would receive residuals together? Or are you looking for me to buy you out on your movie if I feel like this is something that will be beneficial for us? So it really just, we have a few different terms that we go by, but it's not a hard process at all.
Okay. So, if someone was to come onto your show and they looking to get paid to be on your show, what should some or your network, I'm sorry, what should they look forward to so they won't feel no type of disappointment? Because sometimes people have this perception in their mind, and I want you to give them some sort of reality when it comes to them even connected with networks, because a lot of people's doing big things and they
Mhm.
want to be on networking channels, but what what should they expect financially?
In order to come and be like on the cast of a show, or to come and work behind the scenes in production? Is that what you're, which one are you asking?
For them to come on the show, and for them, like, say for instance, I done directed this movie and I want my movie shown on your network. What would the results be of that? Will it just be them, you having their movie on there, or do you go by views and they get paid after so many views? How does that go about so they will know what to expect?
Okay, yes. Ace Network right now is a monetization. So it goes by your views on your on that actual movie, and you get paid out based on that. We do take a percentage of the residuals, and we'll break that all down in a contract to you on what it is and the percentage, and the percentages are negotiable. I'm always negotiating with everyone. um, and that itself keeps the network free. As of
Yeah.
right now, you can go on the Ace Network, download it. You don't have to pay anything to watch it. That's the reason why some other places charge like $5.99, $12.99 a month, because there's not monetized. It's based on monthly subscribers.
Okay.
But ours is monetized at this moment, so it's based off of your views. So if you're thinking about payouts, it works like similar to like how a YouTube or something would work. The percentages aren't the same, but just to think about how does that work, it's based on the amount of views. You start to see a good profit after at least 1,200 views on it. Then you start to see a good profit that's coming off of your content.
Wow, that's amazing. That's good to know, because I know some people, they be wondering and they be kind of lost in that area. So thank you for even sharing that. I
Of
appreciate
course.
it. So what is one of your long-term goals?
Long term goals is that Ace Network will be a household name, and it will be. It will be.
I agree.
Just like you said, we're going to bring back that good TGI Friday feeling. This is going to be a family network that anybody in your house can click on and watch. And moms, dads, you don't have to worry about the type of content that your kids are viewing. It's going to be content for you. It's going to be content for them. It's going to be content for the whole family. I shoot productions out of Atlanta, and I also shoot productions out of St. Louis, Missouri. I have a crew that's in St. Louis as well. So I'm looking to expand my production company into a few more areas so that we can um, get the lifestyle and feedback and energy from people from all different areas, right? Because when you station yourself in one location, you kind of just have the look and the feel and the thoughts of what's going on in Atlanta. We want to know what's going on, everywhere. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? How we all connect. Because in the bigger picture, when you look at everybody, we all be like, oh, you do that too. We connect.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all connect. And the funniest story is because I tell this story about fish and spaghetti. Where you from? Do you guys eat fish and spaghetti together?
What?
I know it's very weird, right? So
But
I
you know
thought for the
what? But
longest.
you know what? I do though.
You do?
Yes, I do.
It's a Midwest thing. I
I
came
do.
here and everybody's like, "You'll
What
cook
is
spaghetti with fish?" And I was like, "Yeah, I thought that was the regular thing."
yeah, yeah.
We learn so much from other people from different regions,
We
and then
do.
we see our differences and learn how much we're alike. So this is what I'm trying to do, is build this gap between us as a community. Let's love each other, let's appreciate each
Yes.
other for our differences, and let's have fun about it, and laugh about it. And that's my goal, and that's what we will create.
Oh yeah, you definitely will. And you know what I learned though? Being positive, it takes a lot of time and patience to
Hmm.
actually get people to get drawn into you
Hmm. Hmm.
because they have everyone so programmed looking for something to feed their adrenaline, like to feed their spirit with negativity all the time. And I've been noticing that because it's like after so long, they want a little drama, a little razzle dazzle here and
Hmm.
there. But it's
Yes,
like it's the positive part. I'm not gonna lie, as far as media, it's very hard.
it is.
It is extremely hard, but it's like sometimes I do feel like it is a lot of people though coming around trying to find positive and trying to change their lives and their perspective of things and trying to find an outlet. So it helps people like us to want to keep going so that we can continue to give this to people.
Yeah, I completely agree. I know that I'm going down a road less traveled. And it won't be easy, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can take their cell phone and go outside and record their neighbor fighting. That video will go viral. It's gonna go viral in a few seconds. And here I am with a big production camera, studio lights, and I'm gonna have to market mine just because
Yeah.
of the way that the world is today,
Mhm.
Um, but I'm built for that. And I knew that
Yeah.
before I started.
Mhm.
I knew that I was going to have to spin this and grab the attention of people. Because I think now when we think positive, people think boring. I think
Yeah, they
they
do. They do.
associate boring with positive, but we still have fun over here.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
still entertained over here. We still laugh over here. We may cuss a couple of words. It's not square. You know,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna leave my network feeling like, oh, I just want to fight somebody because she was just fighting them. Did you see her eye?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna leave my network
Yeah.
thinking that.
Sometimes that having that is very intense, and I don't be wanting to feel that way, and it's kind of hard for you to juggle between that and healing.
Hmm.
So it's good that you do giving that much of an outlet and space for people too. So tell me, what do you have coming up?
So currently, we are casting for a television series called Ambition. Again, Ambition is about a young man who is striving to do better with his life, right? He had a rough life coming up and didn't make all of the best decisions, but he is now on a path um, for to do better. And he has goals and ambitions that he's looking to reach. He will run into some obstacles in life like everybody does. Um, but do we let our obstacles get us down? Do we stop? You got to keep going. So we
Mm.
are currently casting for that series now. We're doing virtual casting. So if you are at your computer, you can hit up the Ace Network TV on Instagram or go to the acenetwork.net. Castings will actually go up tomorrow for all of the positions that we are looking for. After the casting, we're going to ask you to email us a headshot so that we can make sure that you fit the character description. And then we will select our wants to move over to the finals, and then we'll do a virtual table read to see how you read. And then anyone that's selected will then send out your contract agreement, payment information, and schedule production dates. So
Nice. That's nice. So how can anyone get in contact with you?
I encourage everybody to go to the acenetwork.tv.net. Go to our website. We have a fast turnaround time. We do write you guys back. We do respond to emails. I will say though, when it comes to a casting call, as soon as I put something out there, I am flooded. If I put it on Instagram, my Instagram inbox gonna be so full. If I put it on
Oh,
Facebook, my DMs be so full, and I personally cannot get to all of them. So I do encourage you to shoot it to the email, because I have my teammates that check the emails and go through them and everything. I don't be trying to ignore y'all, because I know it's still some people that's in there right now, and I promise you, I am not trying to ignore y'all, but I try not to get sidetracked off of what I'm doing. Jumping
yeah.
from too many, from this to that to this to that. So I do encourage you. Once you go on the website, you'll see any intern opportunities. You will see any casting calls that we have. It'll give you the email address to email us, which is admin@theacenetworktv.net. Please email us to inquire about anything, honestly.
That is amazing. So, what is some advice that you have for someone that is looking forward to starting their own network station?
Mm. Get your ducks in a row first. When I say ducks, ducats, money, emotional healing, spirit, lower your stress, all of that, because it's going to take you through all of that. It's going to
Yeah,
take you through all of that. Also, do your research and know what type of network you want to be, right? Whether you want to be a monetized network, whether you want to be a subscriber based network. Um, find you a good developer. There's a lot of them out there. In order to get your app and your network up and running, we don't do the behind the scenes. We have a wonderful developer site that, so if the network ever goes down, I can reach out to them and they'll get it back up.
that's dope.
So make sure you get that. And then also know your vision for your network, right? Once you get out here, I go to a lot of red carpet events, and you got to mix and mingle
You do.
and rub your elbows. It's so easy to get misdirected, right? Once you get
Yeah,
out there and you see what everybody else doing, oh, well, you doing this and I want to do this and you doing that. I had so many rappers that have names, big name rappers that was like, yeah, I want you to shoot me a show. But their show was nothing about what I was trying to promote on my network. Everybody want their own reality show now.
yeah, they
And I'm
do.
not about to have you have 20 girls on here so you can call one of them ugly, one of them this, one of them that. I ain't. So you have to be solid and stand on business when it comes to what you want your brand and your image to be, because it's so easy to get in there and just start seeing dollar signs like, oh, that'll be some money, that'll be some money there, and
Yeah.
before you know it, you've been and lost your whole vision.
Uh-huh.
So stand on business and know what you represent and what you will and will not do with your business.
Yes, that's facts for real. Thank you for that. Cause some people need to hear that. It's so inspiring to see someone wanting to start a network station, a channel, but they don't understand the work that come behind that and how expensive it can be. And it's a lot. I applaud you because it's a lot.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, girl. Because woo, every month when I pay all these fees, I be crying to myself. No.
Sorry, no, I'm crying for you because that's it's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just keep going and don't let it. What I'm saying, discourage you or nothing, because your time is coming for everything to be afloat. You just gonna have that one moment. You gonna be like, man,
Mhm. All it takes is that one, right?
it
That
do.
one that catches on, that everybody loves. Oh, have you seen? Have you heard about this show? It takes that one that's going to catch them, and you just have to keep your head down and stay focused on your goal. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. Everybody that I've ran into, and even though they haven't said it to me, they've loved the positive idea, because everybody's kind of like
yeah,
we are. We're ready for a
mhm,
little change, but who's going to be the one to do it, right? Because when you think about making that positive change, it might cut your income a little bit.
yeah,
You might go down before you come back up, and nobody's
right.
really willing to go down before they come back up. But you have to also have a forward thinking mind and see what's coming. If my mom and my grandma ain't never tell me nothing, they always told me that history repeats itself.
It do.
Everybody be like, we used to do that. We used to do that. We used to do that. So yes, right now in this moment, the fighting, the violence, all of that is what's hot now. But I see into the future that this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be on a curve. You can either wait
Yeah.
for that curve to come, or you can get ahead of that curve and
Yeah.
start now. So
Yeah, that history do repeats itself because once I see people start getting like buns and doobie wraps and the
the
clothes,
French roll coming back.
once I've seen all that coming back, I'm like, here it go. History about to repeat itself, and this new generation gonna think they done created something.
Yeah, when they started doing that new Running Man or whatever they was doing, I was like, no, we was like this.
Yes.
Yes,
So
it
they
always.
just switching it up. They constantly doing that for sure. So what is something inspiring that you want to leave here with a message today?
It's gonna be so cliche, but you can do it. You know, you can do it. I didn't have the easiest upbringing, y'all. I stayed in the homeless shelters, and I got out here and I did it by myself. But you have to be dedicated and you have to be focused to it. Um, if you're not rich, let me tell you this: please work, please work. Because I run into a lot of people, and I'm saying that because you might be, it might be like, why would she say that? But I run into a lot of people who have all the dreams and all the ambition, but they cannot fund themselves because they say, I am just going to do this. I'm not
Yeah.
going to try to work, and that's very hard to do. Let me say that. You're going to always be relying on somebody else. So find you a backup until you can get things up and going for yourself. But never doubt yourself. It might be one odd thing that you want to do that you don't think nobody else is gonna like. Somebody gonna like
Yeah.
it. Do it and believe in yourself.
Yes. My thing is in this season is just post the content.
All right.
Just post it cuz I personally, I would usually be hard on myself too. And I just like, I'm not gonna post that. Ain't nobody gonna like that. They not gonna so I just like forget it. I'm just posting everything. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But
Yep.
somebody gonna end up liking it probably months down the road, years down the road, because everything always recycle, as you were saying. And
Yep.
somebody will find a video from 2020 and they be like, dang, and that
Mm,
could be a viral video. You don't even know.
yep. You don't know. Consistency. Stay on it.
Yes, you have to stay on it for sure. Well, thank you so much, Tiffany. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everybody. Make sure that you guys go and follow me too on Instagram, the Ace Network TV, Facebook, the Ace Network TV, uh, TikTok, the Ace Network TV, and also Real Point of View Media. You can follow that too.
Okay.
But follow me for more. When I say this network is like a FUBU, it's like for us, by us. This is exactly what it is. And I need you guys. And I want you guys in whatever aspect that you want to be a part of it, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera. I'm creating this content not only for me, but for all of you guys too. So I welcome everybody.
That is such a blessing, and I really appreciate you. Everyone, I would like for you all to subscribe, like her podcast on YouTube and all the other major channels, and you could go back and listen to not only this amazing interview, but you could listen to all our previous ones as well. And have a good night, and peace out, y'all.